All right, here we go. We're in business. Okay, so as I said earlier, today we're talking about beyond efficiency, operational excellence. So we're talking, ladies and gentlemen, as to how you maintain operational excellence and resilience against loss of income. So if you're resilient and you can make sure you take all the steps to maximize productivity and income through operational excellence, your business will be successful. Let's talk about what makes efficiency and what makes operational excellence. All right, so today, you all go into business because you want to build a world-class operation. You all want to be the Steve Jobs of the future. Am I right? Wave your hands if you want to be rich like Steve Jobs. Come on. I know Jocelyn wants to be a millionaire, right, Jocelyn? Are you there, Jocelyn? I know. She wants to retire. Lizelle Celebio wants to find a job that pays her millions of dollars so she can become a shopping lady, go to Louis Vuitton, Praga, and Versace every day, and she can buy Wally coffee once a week. Am I right, Lizelle? Yes or no? Okay, great. Okay, so operational efficiency is one of the core elements to having a successful business. Being able to maximize your operational strategy, maintain a mean or lean labor force, and be able to eliminate waste is a critical path to success. So let's look at this in more detail. Okay, first, what are competitive priorities? Well, ladies and gentlemen, competitive priorities in business are key dimensions of your business that focus on how to gain an edge in the market. So, if you want to gain a competitive edge in a market, okay, priorities are the key dimensions that organizations focus on in order to make themselves have an advantage in the market they're in against their competitors. What are competitive priorities? What do they include, guys? Well, they're very simple, actually. They're very straightforward and they're very fundamental. They are the cost, minimizing expenses and optimizing resources. That's right, Lizelle. You can't actually order $50 lunches every day to your office and expect the business to make profit. A business must minimize its expenses and optimize its resources. You must deliver high quality products or services, not only when you open, but 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The level of quality and service you deliver to your customers must exceed your customers' expectations each and every time. Delivery. You must meet customer demands quickly and reliably. And one there that I love is flexibility. A business must be able to adapt to the challenges that your customers cause you or create for you. You must be able to adapt to different government requirements, different government laws, different market conditions. You need to introduce new products and services on a regular basis. But in order to introduce new products or services, you have to continuously understand what the consumers in your markets want. What are their problems? How are you going to solve their problems with your products or services? Remember, we've said before that in order to be successful, whether you're in marketing or in business, you have to adapt the 5 critical C's of business and marketing strategy. Does everybody remember those 5 critical C's? Yes or no? I know Jocelyn does because she's heard them so many times. Lizelle does, I know that. And Janet should. Okay, Hong Palm should too. The 5 C's, ladies and gentlemen, are customer centric, right, Lizelle? Then we have product centric. We have price centric. We have service centric. And we have market centric. Is that right, guys? Yes or no? Come on, wave your hands if you agree with me. Come on. Janet, show me your hand, Janet. Come on, I want to see your beautiful hand working. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So if we have done our homework and we're five-centric intelligent, we've identified and understood the five elements of being centric: the customer, his or her way of thinking, what products they want, and how do we make those products ones that they need? How much of their income are they prepared to spend on your product? What is the standard of service they expect? And which markets are they in? In the words of Steve Jobs, the man that I admire, as you all know, because he's one of the greatest business sensations that lived in the last century. Steve Jobs was known for focusing on a few key dimensions to drive Apple's competitive edge. Everybody here has an iPhone, right? You all have iPhones? Most of you have iPhones, right? Okay, all right. So he often emphasized innovation, creating groundbreaking products that change the game, products that solve the people's problems. He emphasized design, combining tech with beautiful, intuitive design like the MacBook, the iPhone, or if you remember, the Macintosh computer many years ago used to come with different colors: blue, orange, pink. And when you used to power them up, the back of the fuselage on the computer used to light up with a colored light. They were part of the Jobs element of design. He wanted his products to stand out. The other competitive priority is to make sure that your customers have a satisfying user experience. That means that they're insanely in love with your products. Yes, guys, Janet is insanely in love with her boyfriend or her husband or her family. But when Janet does business, her customers have to be insanely in love with her products or services. Not with her products or services, Janet. Okay? Understand that, Janet? Okay, good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ecosystem is also important. You must build a seamless ecosystem of products and services that you constantly update and that constantly go to your customer and convince your customer that you are able to solve their problem with your product or service. Your priorities, ladies and gentlemen, will help your product become one of the most successful in the industry you're in, and you will certainly overcome your competitors. Steve Jobs at Apple was able to overcome Motorola, BlackBerry, Nokia, and the likes. Samsung is now copying Apple. Apple is the innovator, and every time Apple comes up with Samsung, Samsung copies it in the next model. If you really think of it, there's only two leaders in the phone market today. They are Samsung of Korea, Apple of the United States, and some people say there is other companies from China, but some of those companies, unfortunately, do not have the same level of innovation as Samsung or Apple. Why? It's because their scope of design is limited, and you have to remember that designing a phone is not just about building it. It's about giving it features that solve people's problems. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Can you put your hands up if you agree with me, please? Yeah? How many of you here use iPhone? Can you put your hands up if you're iPhone users? Hands up, iPhone users. Wow, you only have 20 of them, 30 of them, 35. All right, good, excellent. And the reason iPhone users buy iPhone is because they're insanely in love with the technology that iPhone offers. Okay, So operations management strategy, which is the other part of today's lesson, enablers are the key elements that support and enable execution of an organization's strategy. The enablers are the points or the areas that trigger the organizational strategy. All right. Remember, for an organization to have an effective, streamlined operational strategy, it needs certain elements. Let's talk about those elements. They are the people that work for you, how skilled and how much knowledge they have, how much training they provided, and the culture and work ethic that you set for these people. The other point you have to have is the processes in place. You must have systems, procedures, and SOP workflows for everyone to follow. You must have technology, tools, equipment, and the infrastructure to manufacture and deliver your product or service. Partnerships and collaborators and relationships with suppliers, logistics partners, etc., to deliver your product to your customers at the right time in the right number of days. Last but not least, you need to set performance metrics and monitor those to ensure that you never go below the standards that you've set for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you might think this is a joke, but these 5 words, people, process, technology, partnerships, and performance management, are the key foundations and enablers to any business, not only Apple. Steve Jobs was known for emphasizing a few key enablers for Apple's operational strategy. The first one was people. Hiring are players and fostering a culture of excellence. He wasn't hiring workers. He was hiring members of the Apple team to play on his team. Processes. He believed in simplifying and streamlining everything to reduce complexity for his own team and for his customers. He believed in coming through with technology. He wanted to have the best technology, cutting-edge technology, innovative technology in every product or service he launched. And he had a focus. He was always focused, and he was focused on a few key products and doing them extremely well. iPhone, Mac computer, okay, Macintosh computer, all right, now MacBook and Mac Air. These are products that he focused on, and Apple continues to focus on. Of course, they have the Apple Watch. Apple is a product, but it's not as highly ranked as the phones and the AirBooks and the Macintosh computer. Why? It's because Apple has a greater customer audience for its phones and its computers than its watches. Jobs believed in the power of a small, talented team and a culture of innovation to drive Apple's success. That's why Steve Jobs said, when you hire people who know their job, don't tell them how to do it. Simply tell them what to do and let them tell you how well they can do it. Companies are out to maintain a competitive operating strategy, because if they can't do that, they will lose market share and they will go out of business. So if we talk about key competitive priorities and how they step in as operations management strategy enablers, it is really important to understand both. Operational strategy links the decisions you make in operations with the way or the strategy you've set for your business. which should be customer-centric strategy. That means customer-centric, product-centric, price-centric, service-centric, and market-centric. Okay, competitive priorities define essential areas for operational production systems in any business. And these are really fundamental. These priorities help your business operations and help you remain competitive and help you to be able to respond to the market and your customer base effectively and efficiently. If you respond efficiently but not effectively, it's double jeopardy. If you respond effectively but not efficiently, it's also double jeopardy. So you need to be efficient and effective. Competitive priorities serve as strategic capabilities for creating and sustaining your advantages in the market. Also, implementing tools for operational strategy are derived from competitive priorities. Let's talk about these. Your company strategy. You do market analysis. You come up with your competitive priorities, how you're going to compete on quality, how you're going to compete on your costs in order to be able to deliver to your customer at a competitive price. You're going to work towards making sure that your production time and delivery time is in line with your competitors and that you have flexibility. This will continue through new product or service development on a regular basis. All of these are part of your operations strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you run a business and you sell nasi padang, nasi goreng, fried rice, or adobo from your front garden, and you think that just every morning getting up and cooking food will keep your business open, you are living in a dream, because one day your customers will get sick of eating your food. Even if you run a food stall, you should be innovative and coming up with new dishes on a daily or weekly basis. And your dishes should be produced from the best ingredients whilst you try to keep your cost to a price that your customers can afford. Remember, you have to be price-centric. You have to understand how much your customers in your markets earn and how much they're prepared to spend. Do you understand that, Janet? Janet? Put your finger up. Okay. All right, good. Do you understand what I just, Salvation? Miss Salvation? Good. Salvation, focus on my lesson, please, ma'am. Okay, do you understand what I said, Maribel? Very good. Tay Lee, do you understand, Tay Lee? Very good, Tay Lee. Nice to see you. Okay, guys. So operational priorities or competitive priorities and operational strategies are critical to your success as a business. Okay, let's talk about cost. Cost is a key ingredient of your competitive priority, determined by lower cost of operations. So if you can keep your operational costs down, that will allow you to sell at a lower price, undercut your competitors, and remain profitable. Walmart exemplifies successful low-cost strategies with its daily low-price approach. Walmart in the US practices that every time a customer walks into its supermarkets, they will get the lowest price available on that product in the market in their area. How do they do that? They check their competitors' prices and they make sure they keep their operating costs to a minimum so they can be profitable. Chinese manufacturers are relocating to Africa for lower operational costs and tax benefits. You know, we used to say, get your products made in China, it's cheap. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Chinese manufacturers have become greedy. Their prices have gone up. They no longer want to work with buyers and supply them free samples. They are demanding. They want to be paid exorbitant prices just to produce a sample. The quality of the product they used to produce has now gone from a focus on quality to a focus on minimizing costs and getting paid as quickly as possible. So a lot of businesses now have looked outside China to set up manufacturing bases, and they have been able to do that by looking to countries like Africa and other parts of Africa, where labor cost is lower and people are prepared to work and work hard. So cost is a basic and major player. Quality is the other one. Quality is a crucial competitive tool in the market for products and services. iPhone remains successful is because iPhone is able to control the quality of its products. Every time iPhone brings out a new product, it's innovative. It's full of problem-solving ideas. And that is part of the competitive priority that Steve Jobs set forth. These are critical keys. Quality can be categorized into top quality, consistent quality, and quality that people appreciate. Just give me a moment, please, guys. Yes, Medina. Yes, Medina. Okay, I'll fix it. Thank you. Sorry about this, guys. If the screen's not moving, please tell me, guys. All right. Lizelle, please tell me if the screen doesn't move. All right, Lizelle? Okay, here we go. Just give me a moment, guys. Just one moment. All right, can you see my slide, Lisa, Maribel? You see the diagram? Maribel, if the screen stops moving, put your hand up, all right? Okay? Okay, here we go. Can you see my screen now, Maribel? You should see cost and quality. Is that correct, Maribel? Thank you very much. I do apologize, guys. You're all looking at me and smiling, so I assumed you can see my screen. Please, if you see a glitch, please wave to me, okay, guys? Come on. Okay, help me out. All right. Thank you, Miss Medina. All right, so remember we said cost, quality. So why is cost important? Cost is a key competitive priority. Why is it important? Let me repeat, is because lowering your cost enables you to sell your product at a price that your customers can afford. Remember, if you're price centric, it means you're able to produce your product or service at a price which your customers are able to spend. We said that Chinese manufacturers are relocating to Africa for lower operational costs. Companies now are skeptical about having their products manufactured in China because China has become greedy. Their costs have gone up with all the taxes, etc. And Chinese manufacturers have now decided to treat customers as either buy from us on our conditions because that's the Chinese market or go elsewhere. Majority of Chinese manufacturers have lost their hunger to be competitive. And a lot of the big Chinese manufacturers are now looking at setting up their operations outside China where they can lower their costs and try to be able to become competitive again. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so the reason why Chinese manufacturers are choosing Africa is because of the excise and duty placed on Chinese products by countries like the US. Okay, so if a product comes out of China, the duty becomes very high on it because of the trade relationship that has happened or just being incurred between the United States and China and other countries. So if they set up their manufacturing base in the African continent, the levies or the duties will be lowered, taxes will be lower, and manufacturers will be able to get better tax benefits from governments in African continents to be able to reduce their costs. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Maribel? Thank you. All right, Christine? Okay, guys. Quality. Why is quality crucial? Quality is crucial because people buy a quality product. People buy iPhone because of technology and quality. Why do people spend $200-300 more for an iPhone over Samsung or Nokia? Is because Apple is a better quality phone based on the technology it delivers every time, time after time after time. Why don't people buy Huawei? Because Huawei is non-Google friendly. You can't use Google on it because of the embargoes and security restrictions on the Huawei company by US and other countries' legislators in the fear that their devices can spy on people and collect intelligence for the Chinese government. So why do people go to Apple? Because of its quality product and the technology it offers them, the innovation. Quality can be categorized into being the top of the market, the middle of the market, or just consistent. Come on, we know that iPhone is the most expensive phone on the market. Coming directly below iPhone is Samsung. Coming below Samsung, then follow all the rest. All right? But the two market leaders and the two most expensive iPhones or phones, smartphones, are either the iPhone or the Android, which is Samsung. Now, if either of them loses focus on quality, I promise you the other one will capture the market because there's no one to compete with them. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Huawei used to be a competitor, but unfortunately, because of the embargoes against Huawei for security reasons, Huawei is no longer a player or a competitor. It's just a Chinese manufacturer that can only meet the expectations of your low-end consumer in China. All right, let's talk about Toyota. Toyota's Kaizen system exemplifies consistent quality through rigorous quality standards and continuous improvement. Toyota is a car manufactured in Japan. Does everybody know Japan? Medina, do you know Japan? Can you wave to me, Medina? Yes, Medina knows Japan. Of course, she knows Japan. All right. Kaizen is a quality system that exemplifies strategic and disciplined checks on quality. It's one of the highest standards of maintaining quality in a production line atmosphere. Toyota uses the Kaizen system to ensure quality in the manufacture of Toyota cars. And Toyota has met rigorous quality standards around the world year after year after year. That's why the price of Toyota compared to Nissan is higher, compared to Mitsubishi it's higher, compared to Mazda it's higher. Compared to other Japanese cars, Toyota seems to lead the market with a higher price because they pride themselves on the Kaizen metric that maintains quality in their production line. All right. Remember, you don't want to emphasize efficiency to your customers because they might take that negatively, that you're taking shortcuts on quality. Even though your business must be efficient, but your customers should be told about quality. The efficiency is an internal factor for you as a company. You can't say to your customers that we are efficient in manufacturing and keep our costs low. That is for you internally. What you need to promote to your customers is that your quality is second to none. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Janet, do you understand that? Can't hear you, Janet. Put up your hand, Janet. Okay. All right, good. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, Maribel, can you see my slide, Maribel? It should say time and flexibility. Very good. Okay, so the other factor, ladies and gentlemen, is time. Time is a critical dimension of competitive priorities and business operations. You need to work against time, because if you take too much time coming up with products or services and delivering them, your customer will go to your competitor. The speed of delivery on time should be the only efficiency you talk about to your customers. Because delivery and efficiency in delivery is a point essential to customer satisfaction. Let me give you an example of an airline known as Southwest Airlines in America. These exemplify effective time-based competition with superior on-time performance. Southwest Airlines is a smaller airline, smaller than American Airlines, United Airlines. But the thing about Southwest Airlines is they have an impeccable record on on-time departure, on-time arrival. It's a smaller airline, and they have better control of their flights. And that's one of the reasons why some people are prepared to pay a little bit more for Southwest Airlines, because they don't have to fear delays or cancellations. Okay, remember, it's really important for any business, whether you're an airline, whether you sell adobo or hamburgers, that you on a constant basis review your manufacturing processes, your standard operating procedure of how to deliver products to a customer without compromising quality and by delivering on time. Every part of the business must look at being flexible. What do we mean by competitive flexibility priorities? They are crucial, especially in a turbulent business environment where all manufacturers are trying to be able to deliver product at a better cost so that more people buy it. What do I mean by flexibility? I mean, you should be open to new ideas, constantly innovating new products, and listening to what customers need and helping meet their wants by providing them what they need. Flexibility is also important when you serve today's customers. Today's customers are smarter customers than when your parents were your age and they were customers. Customers back then in the 19th century, 18th century, early 20th century were afraid to complain. They accepted whatever they were told about delivery, etc. Unfortunately, today, the customers of today, or the generation today, knows and is more versatile about how businesses work, and they know what they expect in delivery, because platforms like Amazon promise delivery within 3 days. They set the benchmark. So now customers have this idea, if Amazon can do it, so should you. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands? Come on, wave your hands, please. Mary, do you understand this, Mary? Yes, Mary, you understand? Okay, Mary. Okay, do you understand it, Ronnie? Okay, Ronnie. Both small and large businesses can be flexible in their operations by having a constant team that looks after R&D, and by constantly collecting feedback from their customers about their products or services and keeping their R&D team up to date so they can constantly innovate. All right, can you see my screen, Maribel? Thank you, Ronnie. Okay, companies must come up with their own competitive priorities, and they must make sure that they are able to understand what their customer base is looking for and be able to come up with competitive alternatives. Because if your alternative is not competitive and they can get it somewhere else, you will lose that customer. Your customer retention rate will go down, and the cost of acquiring new customers will increase because customer retention is cheaper than customer acquisition. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Very good. Now, as Ronnie will tell you, leadership has to be a fundamental role when you're trying to be competitive and maintain quality as a priority. Because if your leaders are kamikaze Japanese bosses or German Hitler or Chinese communist military bosses who only know how to tell people what to do or put them to the firing squad or fire them, as we say, terminate them, people will run away. They don't want to work for you. They feel unsecure or insecure. Today's management should be a management that adopts a leadership style where you show, they follow, you correct, they understand, and they show you their understanding by customer satisfaction or sales. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? So leadership is different to just being a boss, a manager. Being a boss and driving people away is not cost effective in today's business. Today's managers have to go from kamikaze bosses or managers to leaders, where they have to make sure that the people below them are able to do what they want them to do and are able to ask questions and feel important and motivated. And the only way they'll do that is through effective leadership. Usually, successful companies exemplify different competitive priorities tailored to their strategies. How does Apple remain competitive? By coming up with the best technology, okay, that no one else can deliver at a price which their customers can afford. It's not cheap, but people who buy Apple can afford it. Strategic flexibility and innovation are crucial, Ronnie, regardless of what business environment you operate in. Whether you operate in the USSR, in Russia, the United Soviet Union, whether you operate in, Europe, whether you operate in the Gulf, okay, the GCC, the Gulf states, all these markets require you to be focused on delivering a competitive product of the right quality and with the right level of dynamic service. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Remember, your service cannot just be okay. Your service cannot just be average. Your level of service, so far as quality, must exceed the customer's expectations. What do I mean by exceed? Go past what the customer expects. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Okay, do you understand this, Mary Lynn? Thank you. Do you understand this, Jane Valdez? Do you understand, Leonora? Put your hand up, Leonora. Okay. Lachlan, do you understand? Very good. All right. Do you understand, Jesselgi? Okay. What about you, Imelda? Christine? Okay, great. All right. So let's go on, guys. All right. Can you see my slide, Maribel? What is strategic fit? Okay, one moment, please. One moment. Can you see it now? Thank you. All right. So strategic fit basically describes the extent to which your business is consistent with your company's strengths, competitive position, and long strategic direction. So, are you bringing out enough innovative products? Are you a market leader? Are you retaining customers or losing customers? When strategic fit is strong, that means you have the right resources. All your team are focused on a common goal, and therefore, over time, you'll become a lot more efficient and you'll become a lot more cost effective. All right, let me just tell you guys that strategic fit, ladies and gentlemen, just one moment. Can you see my screen now, please? Types of strategic fit. Yeah, okay. So types of strategic fit vary. First, it's an operational fit. That means that you have the correct types of operations and processes so that you are able to meet the demand of the supply chain that you actually operate in. Okay, so if you have the right operational fit, the right factory, the right equipment, and the right people to run that equipment, you are able to lead in product innovation, speed to market, and fewer operational disruptions. Can you see the next one, please, Maribel? Financial fit. Thank you. So, financial fit, ladies and gentlemen, is how well you are able to deliver your product at a price that your customers can afford in their disposable income, in simple words. So, if, for example, Ronnie earns $200 a week, after he pays for food and rent, he only has $105 to spend. But out of that $105, he's not going to pay $105 just to go to one party because that money has to last him for a whole month. So you have to understand what is his buying capacity in order to buy your product during a given month. You have to be price centric. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Come on, Christine. Do you understand? Wake up, Christine. Show me your hand, gorgeous. Come on, Christine. I love your smile. Smile. Show me your hand. Come on. Thank you, Christine. Very nice. Okay. All right, let's go on. Next fit that we have to look at, ladies and gentlemen, if Maribel has seen my slide, is market fit. What do I mean by market fit, Ronnie and Taylor? Market fit is that you are selling your product in the market where you have a target audience. Remember, we said many lessons ago that before you go into a market, you have to make sure that the demographic or the customers there are customers that want and need your product. So if Ronnie opens a pig farm and he wants to export his healthy pigs to Saudi Arabia, he will go broke because pork is a contraband and can only be exported for a very small number of foreigners who live in Saudi Arabia who need a license to buy pork. And only pork authorized by the Saudi government can go into Saudi Arabia in very small quantities. So would Ronnie succeed by running the business only in Saudi Arabia? No, he would go bankrupt. Okay, very good. All right, so remember, you have to make sure when you actually do your research that you're market centric, that you can fit into that market. You have to do your PESTEL analysis. You have to look at political, social, economic, technological, environmental, and legal factors that may affect your product of being able to be successful in that market. Do you all understand that, guys? Yes or no? And now we look at cultural fit. Maribel? Okay. What is the cultural fit, guys? The cultural fit is the degree of alignment with the people's cultures or beliefs. For example, in the Philippines, girls like to be very American. They follow American fashion. Now they are following Korean makeup and Korean fashion. All right. So you have to fit in with the Filipino girl culture if you want to focus on a female market in the Philippines. If you want to focus on a market in Korea, then beauty is part of their culture. Everything must be focused on extenuating a girl's beauty for her to buy it in Korea. If you go into a market and don't align with their cultures, you will lose ground, you will lose money, and you will have to withdraw from that market. Give you an example. Many years ago, a lot of the big, expensive Michelin star chefs around the world opened very expensive restaurants in Singapore. But their rent in Singapore is very expensive. These Michelin star chefs were not prepared to lower the quality in order to be able to sell their dishes cheaper because they still had a high rent. So instead, they couldn't fit into the Singapore culture. They closed their Michelin star restaurants in Singapore. Do you understand that, guys? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, how to achieve strategic fit. Maribel? Okay, good. The first way or the first element of achieving a strategic fit, ladies and gentlemen, is to have an ability to clarify your long-term strategic goals. And that means you as a business, you as a sole entrepreneur, you as a sole business owner, you and your partner, whether it's you and your mother, you and your wife, you and your father, who are your investors, you must agree clearly on what you have as a strategy to make your business a success, not only for now, but for at least the next 5 or 10 years. Business should have long-term strategic goals. If you work on short-term strategic goals, you will likely fail unless you're a techno entrepreneur who has some fantastic technology that he's going to be able to sell for millions of dollars in the first few months. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Do you understand that, Imelda? Imelda, yes or no? Good, Imelda. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying, Cheryl or Soy? Okay. Alanai, do you understand what I've said? Alanai? Yes or no? Do you understand? Good girl. All right. What about you, Jonathan? Do you understand, Jonathan? Hi, Jonathan. I love your hat, Jonathan. Okay. All right. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, long-term strategic goals must be something that you have documented, something that everybody in your team understands, and you must operate to them and follow them. They cannot be vague, or otherwise consistently you will fail. Number 2, conduct a capabilities audit. Can you see that, Maribel? Thank you. What do we mean by regular capabilities audits? Well, you need to perform a comprehensive review in your company to make sure that your strengths are still there by doing a SWOT analysis in the market. Your strengths internally are still there based on the SWOT analysis you've done to your customers and your market. You have the right systems and latest technology operating in your factories. You have the right talent with the right experience to be able to make and deliver your goods or services. You have the right logistics support to be able to deliver to customers on time. And You have the right measurements to make sure that your performance is growing and that you're improving and becoming more profitable. Now, if you don't have a formal audit, you can write to me or drop me a message and I can send you a template. But you must have a capabilities audit that you conduct on your business every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. All right, number 3. Again, Maribel. Number 3 is to evaluate your external conditions by doing a PESTLE analysis. Does everybody know what PESTLE means? Ronnie? Ronnie, yes or no? That's a yes? Because you gave me this surprise look. So put your hand up, Ronnie. Do you understand PESTLE? Very good. Okay, so PESTLE means political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Everybody understand those? Yes or no? Put your hand up. Come on. Jonathan? Okay, great. You need to be able to match your strategy and your initiative to make sure you have enough resources, enough factory production space to produce the number of items in demand. You have the right amount of staff to support the volume of business that you're going to do. If you can match initiatives to resources, you will be successful. Okay, number 5, Maribel, align leadership and culture. Very fundamental. Remember, we said your managers need to be leaders, not kamikaze police officers or soldiers, all right? They need to be leaders that lead by example. And you need to make sure that you have integration. How do you have integration or buy-in by your team? It's by making sure that they know, they can show you how, and they're having a successful experience, which in turn will create an environment for them to become motivated, more confident, and empowered. Do you all understand this, ladies and gentlemen? What do we mean by empowered? Empowered means that they feel comfortable working and feel as if they know your business. All right, let's talk about an example. Can you see my slide, Maribel? Okay, Apple designing its own chips. Come on, guys, think carefully, Ronnie. Apple's transition from Intel processors to its own in-house M1 and M2 chips illustrates one of the greatest strategic fits in action that Steve Jobs implemented. The company leveraged on its existing strengths in hardware design, software optimization, and vertically integrated to bring in its own chip manufacturing white rooms in their own plants. Okay? Now, where are the chips manufactured? Again, they're manufactured in China through a factory and similar to Foxconn, based in China. And they're manufactured for Apple only. They don't have to buy their chips from anywhere else anymore. They don't have to go to Intel. They don't have to negotiate prices. They can design their own chips and have them built. And soon we'll be seeing the M3 chip, which promises to be at least 10 times smarter than the M2 chip that Apple uses today. Look at Disney. Does everybody know Walt Disney? Put your hands up if you know Walt Disney. I know Medina knows Walt Disney. I'm sure her son watches the cartoons, right? Okay, guys, these people, I can't see your faces, and I'm going to mark you absent. Angel Chris, Janet Sasak, Aldwin, and Mary Ann. If you don't show me your face, or if you walk away from your camera once more, I promise you there'll be no certificate, and I'll mark you as absent. If you want my certificate, then respect to me, please attend my lesson. I don't give certificates just because you log in and walk away. You don't learn anything. Please sit in front of the camera and learn. Do we understand me, Janet? Yes or no, Janet? Do you understand, Janet? Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Aldwin. Thank you, Nopita. Focus on the lesson, Nopita. Please, ma'am. I know you're at work. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back. Example number 2, Disney acquiring Pixar. Disney is Walt Disney. When they acquired Pixar, they demonstrated how cultural and strategic intent fit can drive value. Okay, the strong cultural alignment enabled smooth collaboration and enabling Pixar to inject their innovation in animation and technology into Disney's platform without conflicting with Disney's identity. And since Disney took over Pixar, Disney has increased sales because they both had the same creative ethos. Both companies were fixated on quality, creativity, and delivering animation to their customers beyond their wildest expectations. Come on, Donald Duck is a Disney production. Mickey Mouse is a Disney production. Goofy the dog is from Disney. All right, all of these characters became successful is because Disney brought them to life and was able to maintain the reality in these characters. Do you all remember Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse? Who remembers Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse? Nopita, do you remember Mickey Mouse? Yeah, Nopita, all right. Do you remember Minnie Mouse, Maribel? You used to run around when you were a baby girl like Minnie Mouse in your little shorty pajamas and give your mummy a headache, right? Maribel? Yes, Maribel? Okay. So we all remember Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. They were our favorite characters. Well, I was a Mickey Mouse fan, but I was a bigger fan of Donald Duck because Donald Duck for me was stronger. I always tried to be a Donald Duck, but it didn't work. All right. But I still watch Donald Duck with my daughter every Sunday morning because he's one of her favorite Disney cartoons. Okay. So Disney acquired Pixar and became better. Apple started manufacturing its own chips and continually capture market lead in the world of smartphones. Okay, let's look at example 3, Amazon. Can you see my slide, Maribel? Okay, what made Amazon rich, Ronnie? What made Amazon rich? I'll tell you what made them rich, COVID-19. Otherwise, they'd be your average company. But the other thing that made Amazon strong was that Amazon's founder had the intellect and business continuity vision to make sure that he had distribution centers all over the world. He understood that he had to put artificial intelligence and robots into his warehouses to make them more efficient and scale up faster. So Amazon expanded by having distribution centers in 20 countries of the world, making it quicker to deliver to their customers in different parts of the world. And this was in line with their mission to expand and scale rapidly to cover the world. All right, let's look at another big success. Quaker. Has anybody heard of Quaker? Quaker is a food manufacturer and soft drink manufacturer. Quaker, $1.7 billion acquisition of Snapple in 1990. Illustrated poor strategic fit. While Quaker excelled in grocery store distribution, Snapple's strength was in convenience stores and niche channel systems. Okay? All right, so let's talk about this. They were largely incompatible. Largely incompatible. Amazon expanded, it was compatible. Apple building their own chips were compatible. Walt Disney buying the other creative animation firm was compatible. But for Snapple, weak operational market fit led to integration chaos. Quaker ultimately sold Snapple 3 years later for $1.4 billion. They bought it for 1.7. They sold it for 1.4. They lost $3 billion. Okay, this is a stark example of the risks of pursuing growth without strong strategic alignment. So if we go back to Amazon, it was strong strategic alignment because they multiplied their number of deliveries during COVID-19 25 times to service everyone who could no longer buy from shops and turn to Amazon. For Apple, they were able to produce better chips quicker and remain a market leader. And for Disney, they were able to use the just hold on, guys. Where have I gone here? Okay, and for Disney, by acquiring Pixar, they were able to bring in animation technology that helped build on the Disney ethos. Okay, so let's go on. Importance of strategic fit. Can you see that, Maribel? Okay. Why is strategic fit important? Well, like in a hospital, Cecile, you need to have a very quick response to when a patient pushes a red button because you don't know what's wrong with the patient till you get to their bedside. If you work in intensive care, you monitor a patient 24/7. Okay, so streamlining decision making is fundamental to keep a business running efficiently, being able to make faster decisions through leadership, being able to be predictable, adaptable, and able to adapt to market or decisions that have to be made without delay. All right. Strategic fit means doing away with ambiguity, okay, and streamlining everything, eliminating distractions, and channeling the energy towards high impact and value creating by reducing internal costs, maintaining high quality and service standards. All right, so you need to reduce operational friction. So how do you do that? You need to stop having interruptions or trying to do something without having strategy in place. Because if you go outside the SOP or try to change the strategy that you have set, that will disrupt day-to-day operations, and this will cause a build back or basically a delay in production, and then you'll have a big backlog. So operational friction or going away from strategic policies or operational standards that you've implemented will disrupt your business. Okay, preserves resources and focus. Can you see this, Maribel? Okay, so strategic fit makes sure that you have enough resources, that every misaligned initiative is actually minimized and they are all aligned. Okay, without strategic fit, organizations risk extending themselves both financially and manpower wise, and they take away their focus on their core strengths, which should be quality and service delivery. All right, strengthens execution speed. Strategic fit means you're able to deliver efficiently and meet customer expectations. You avoid bottlenecks, you avoid conflicts in the project delivery or in manufacturing bottlenecks, okay? So by having strategic fit, you're able to ensure execution speed. All right, so can everybody see my slide? Yes or no? All right, so batch flow, continuous, and custom production. Can you see this, Maribel? Okay. A production process is the approach the business uses to create goods for its customers. Choosing the right production process depends on whether you have your own factories or you have it produced by another manufacturer who should meet these same production standards. Manufacturing businesses understanding characteristics and trade-offs of different production systems is essential for selecting the approach that aligns with the operational goals and being able to produce product based on customer demand and customer needs. There are 4 distinct types of production processes, guys. Listen carefully. Batch production, where you only produce a batch based on requirements. Continuous production like iPhone that is constantly producing until a new model comes out. Okay. Flow production where it keeps going with the flow based on resources. And what we call custom production, known as job shop or bespoke production. When you order a Rolls-Royce, it's bespoke production. It's made on a production line, but it's made one car based on specific design for that customer, and everything is customized. All right, let's look at continuous production. Do you see this, Maribel? Continuous production includes flow production and ongoing production. This is usually designed for high volume and is consistent with high volume output. Ideal for standardized products where efficiency and scale like iPhones, Samsung phones, food products require, okay? Intermittent production processes includes batch production and custom job production. These are suited for low to medium volume production with greater flexibility. And these are usually very usable when you have customized products like Dell computers, Rolls-Royce cars, custom-built Lamborghinis. All of these are using what we call intermittent production processes. Okay, we're now talking about selecting the right production process. Can everybody see my slide? Yes or no, Maribel? Okay, so selecting the right production process is really important. The manufacturing process, ladies and gentlemen, will have to depend on several key inputs, known as the factors of production. They are how much land you have, how much labor you need, how much capital you have to build the physical factory and resources and buy the equipment, and your level of entrepreneurship. Do you have financial investors? Do you have your own money? And who's going to assume the risk? Is it you or is it a group of investors? If you can carefully evaluate this before you set up your production and knowing how much capital or how much your spending power is in setting up the correct production facilities, that can save you problems later in not being able to meet production demands. And it can also save you bottlenecks later in not being able to develop new products fast enough. Okay, the features of batch production. Can everybody see that? Can you see that, Maribel? Cost effective compared to other methods for medium scale production. It is flexible. It is suitable for small production runs. For example, if Maribel orders ladies' swimsuits from the manufacturer in China and she only orders 1,000 pieces a year, that manufacturer will use batch production to make Maribel's custom order. Okay, reduces inventory as production occurs in controlled quantities. Downtime occurs between batches due to pausing machine setup. But then if Maribel orders enough to last her through 3 months, then she doesn't need to order again for another 3 months. So she buys the first shipment in January, which should last till March. But at the end of the February, she orders the next 3 months production. So by the end of March, the next 3 months supply has been produced and sent to her. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Okay. What is flow production? Can you see this, Maribel? Okay. Flow production, ladies and gentlemen, is also called mass production. Mass production focuses on producing large quantities. I repeat, large quantities of standardized products quickly using a very fast production line approach. That means workers perform a specific task repeatedly, day in, day out, over and over and over and over again, and the product moves through each stage. Production is typically continuous, anticipating future demand. Example, Rhodes International Bake and Serve, the largest frozen food dough manufacturer in North America, uses a flow production process. Each employee performs a specific task as the product moves through the plant. For example, mixing station. Employees load and monitor machines that mixes the dough. Molding machines, dough is shaped into the pans and moved into the freezer. Bagging, rows of frozen dough loaves are bagged efficiently. Boxing, completed bags are packed into boxes, taped and stacked into pallets. Pallet handling, full pallets are moved by pallet lifters. Okay, they are picked up and delivered into the storage freezers. Okay, so remember, the pallet is stacked and the pallet is then lifted by a forklift driver, taken into the freezer, or moved by a robot who lifts the pallet and moves into the freezer. From the freezer, the next time it's moved is onto a truck with freezer facilities or refrigeration, so it's delivered frozen to their customers to defrost, bake, and sell to their customers. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay. All right. The features of flow production. Can you see that, Maribel? What are the features of flow production? Competent parts follow the same path repeatedly, ensuring organizational consistency and no slow or breakdown in time. It's efficient. It gets done on time. It enables high volume production with reduced cycle times because everybody knows their specific task. The production never stops, and over time, as the people become more competent, you can increase capacity utilization. It requires significant upfront investment because you need more machines and more staff. However, if you have the right business, it can be profitable because you're able to meet consumer demand. Flow production is ideal for large-scale production that needs speed and efficiency and where factories need to operate 24 hours a day. All right, what is continuous production? Can you see this, Maribel? Continuous production is also a variant of what we call, or also called, flow production. Okay. Now, products move continuously through a linear production system, often on an automated or semi-automated production line, ensuring constant output. So, example of flow or continuous production is common in industries where quality and performance depend on uninterrupted processes, like smart chip manufacturers, M1, M2 chips that iPhone or Apple manufactures, Intel, chip manufacturing at Intel. Okay, and these are very high, intense production processes where they require a dust-free environment and a controlled temperature environment to produce these chips. All right, the process never stops, ensuring consistent output and quality, and usually Intel chips or M1 chips production happens around the clock, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because of the time it takes to manufacture the chips and test them. What are the features of continuous production or flow production? Can you see that, Maribel? Okay, they are achieves the highest capacity utilization among production methods, generates low unit costs due to large-scale uninterrupted output. It operates in a dedicated plant where everything is set up, temperature controlled, dust-free. It's completely controlled. Raw materials are heavily processed or spare parts are controlled. Okay. They require high initial investment, limiting competition because the cost of having the facilities to make these products is very high. Setting up a chip factory like Intel or M1, M2 chips that Apple makes, okay? These are continuous production, high volume, quality chips built to standard specifications. Okay, let's go to custom production. What is custom production? Can you see that, Maribel? Okay, custom production is also known as job shop or unit production. It involves small-scale manufacturing systems that produces goods tailored to individual customer specifications. For example, custom-ordered Rolls-Royces, custom-ordered Lamborghinis, custom-ordered helicopters, custom-ordered Rolex watches, custom-ordered Nike runners that can cost you $2,000 a pair. These are all custom production. All right, so usually custom production environments have a unique mix of skills, machines, very highly trained tradesmen who can adapt to different ways of customizing their product. Okay, customized furniture, usually under custom production. The company receives a client's order. The team looks at the plan or the requirements, identifies the materials, the machinery, and the required manpower. It assigns it to the right team in the factory who do this, what we call job production or custom production. The piece is manufactured according to the client's specifications. The finished product is delivered upon completion. Okay, what are the features of custom production? As you can see, Maribel, high flexibility, okay, elastic production volume suitable to produce high quality customized product for customers, low obsolescence. That means that machines can handle diverse projects, not only one project. Higher production costs because you're having a team make only one product for one customer. But of course, if you buy a custom car or a custom Rolls-Royce, you pay the price. Custom production is ideal for highly specialized, low volume, customer specific products like Rolls-Royce cars, cargo ship, passenger ships, Airbus aircraft for different airlines. These are all customized jobs depending on the client's order. All right. So we need to understand, what does lean operations mean? Okay, lean operations is a management philosophy aimed at maximizing customer value while minimizing waste. For example, Toyota Production System uses the Kaizen philosophy to maintain quality, but they use lean operations to run their production line. What does lean operations include? Value, where you identify and deliver what the customer truly values and needs in the product. A value stream, where you map out and improve the end-to-end processes so you can always meet demand and deliver value quality product that can be sold at a price that the customer can afford. You can ensure flow and uninterrupted production. You can produce only what the customer needs when it's needed in response to demand. And perfection, where you maintain quality, as we said with Toyota and their Kaizen philosophy. By applying these principles, businesses like Toyota can create leaner production lines, more agile operations that are aligned with both what Toyota customers want to drive and what the future of the car industry aims to produce. Okay, can I ask you all, does everybody understand what I've explained so far? Can you put up your hands, please? I'll be doing a lot of talking because today's subject is a bit more difficult. Does everybody understand what I've explained so far? Yes or no? All right. Do you all know how important now it is to have efficiency in production? Yes or no? You all know why different types of production are suitable for different goods. Yes or no? Okay, let me go back to our PowerPoint presentation. Just give me a minute, would you guys? Just one moment. Okay. All right. Can you see my slide, Maribel? Thank you. All right, guys, let's keep going. All right, so understanding the concept of lean operations, we've already covered. Just give me a moment, please. Let me just get this aligned. Okay. All right. Just hold on, guys. Why is this? Just hold on. Something is not happening here. Just hold on, guys. We need to reset this. Hold on. Just hold on, please. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So how do we understand the benefits of lean operations? Can you see my slide, guys? Yes or no? Okay. So understanding the concept of lean operations is very straightforward, actual fact. Okay. All right. They are improved quality, reduced costs, increased productivity, enhanced customer satisfaction. We said at the beginning, improved quality is an ongoing need because customers demand it. Reduced costs is a must. It's part of your objective as any business to be able to buy the product at the lowest cost and maximize profit. Increased productivity is streamlined processes so you make sure that you can deliver the product to market in time, save your customer going to competition. And remember, we also said that when you deliver a level of customer service, it should not just be service that is okay or accepted or average. It should be a level of service satisfaction that exceeds each and every customer's expectations each and every time. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Again, Roslyn, you switched off. You're not on the camera. Brighton, you're not on camera. Tika, Rostika, you're not on camera. Marjolin, you're not on camera. If you disappear off the camera once more, I will not issue a certificate. Please focus on the lesson. All right, let's go on, guys. Okay, so lean production means, or lean operations means reduce waste. Okay, reduce waste. And reducing waste is a very important principle. A central principle of lean operations is minimizing all forms of waste, focusing only on value-added activities. Common types of waste include waste, unnecessary movement of goods or materials through transportation that is not necessary, excess stock that is not immediately needed and runs out of use-by date, motion waste, unnecessary movement of people or equipment, waiting waste, delays caused by bottlenecks or inefficient workflows or supply of raw materials in the factory, overproduction waste, producing more than needed, especially with edible food that has a use-by date or a lifespan, over processing waste, performing unnecessary steps in the production process, which makes the product unsellable and has to be disposed, and defect waste, rework or corrections caused by products failing quality standards. All of these are elements factories have to ensure in waste reduction to ensure lean operations. How lean productions or lean operations, lean production operations enhance efficiency, standardization by having standard processes to ensure no bottlenecks or delays, smoother execution, and standard processes which you can teach to your staff as leaders and monitor, guide them, and coach them. Continuous improvement, which is part of the lean philosophy, as I said, Kaizen, which Toyota uses it. And Kaizen is lean operations, which has a focus of ongoing evaluation of the production system and measuring quality against production standards to make sure they are able to progressively increase production, increase quality standards, not a decrease in quality standards. All right, if we look at the impact of lean production, well, of course, it reduces cost, it improves productivity, it produces higher quality products, it engages employees, it establishes a lean culture in the business, and it provides leadership commitment. Can you see that, Maribel? Okay. All right, and the most fundamental part here is it increases profitability. So if you increase revenue due to lean operations, profitability should increase also. All right, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, total quality management, TQM, will ensure customer satisfaction. It will ensure employee engagement through ownership, where employees feel as if they understand, they're confident, and they want to become involved. They own their part of the process, and they're proud or have pride in doing their job. Okay, process improvement control is a must in order to make sure that you maintain total quality management. Okay, you need to have constant performance measures to make sure that the standards don't go down, and you need to be transparent and make sure whatever the results of your performance measurement are, that you openly discuss them and you rectify them. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Okay, so let's look at TQM as a strategic performance driver, Maribel. Number one, it eliminates waste across operations. It reduces lead times at every stage of production. It lowers costs while improving efficiency. It develops employee skills and capabilities, and it continuously improves processes and outcomes, right? Very simple, very straightforward. So when we put total quality management into practice, we can basically become a more effective, a more lean, a more aligned organization that is constantly focused on creating value for its customers. Okay. Is there any challenges in total quality management? Is there any challenges? Well, there can be challenges because performance management is not in place to monitor. Okay. Also, traditional management accounting, which focuses on cost and production analysis, often overlooks quality-related performance, which can go against the principle of TQM. Remember, TQM philosophy is focused on emphasizing that quality must be designed into the manufacturing process, not a result of the manufacturing process. And there must be an understanding that quality is the responsibility of everybody in the production process. Customer-centric quality. Remember what we said about customer-centric, everyone? Does everybody remember what the word customer-centric means? Yes or no? Customer-centric, putting yourself in the customer's shoes to understand what the customer perceives in the quality of the product he or she wants. All right, so outsourcing versus vertical integration. Remember, vertical integration involves you as a business owner controlling multiple stages in your supply chain, which helps minimize disruptions, but ultimately requires you to invest a lot of money and managerial manpower. Sometimes some owners prefer to outsource that. That means they outsource it to a third party. Now, this can reduce labor costs, but may increase dependency on third parties. And if anything goes wrong, that could impact your business. So if you're considering outsourcing, you need to think about it carefully. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me. The benefits of vertical integration are, of course, having commodities, manufacturing, distribution, and retail. The key advantages are you minimize supply disruptions because you control it within your own company. You mitigate supply your power by controlling yourself and your own business. You reduce the cost per unit because you're doing it internally, and you enhance profitability and competitive advantage because you can control your costs rather than having to outsource and pay a third party to do it for you, which at the end of the day is going to increase the cost. Okay. All right. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Mitigating manpower, reducing the cost per unit, and enhancing profitability. Okay, what are the challenges and risks of vertical integration? Well, as I said earlier, these are common sense. You have to have more money up front. You have to be more structured, and you have less flexibility because there's more processes that you have to control. You have to have a more structured management structure to manage operations, and you have to be able to cope with different cultural elements in your workforce. Employees in different stages of the supply chain often have distinct work cultures or skill sets. Factory workers and retail staff may have different expectations. And if you're managing the whole process from production to distribution and sale, you have to be able to deal with the different work cultures. You have to be able to ensure that the staff morale is high and that basically you don't allow lower morale to hinder productivity and revenue. So the primary advantages, if you consider outsourcing, it means that you lower your initial costs. Now, you can save money by outsourcing depending on the type of business you run. And this is something that you need to look at on a case-by-case basis, depending on the business and the country you're in. If you have any questions about that regarding your business, you can actually ask me. But what you should know is that outsourcing is where you ask a third party to take over one of the processes or the roles within your company. It's accounting, it's HR, it's recruitment, it's production. All right. So if we move on from that, if we look at Industry 4.0, AI at the heart of transformation. Let me just talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, because, AI is a really important part of the business chain. And let me talk about the implications of AI. Okay, because I think it's easier for me to explain this for you rather than go through all these slides. Okay, artificial intelligence or AI-driven connectivity or AI, artificial intelligence in business today, is a must. You can read about it later. You get a copy of the material. Okay, AI ensures that data from machines, production lines, and supply chains is integrated and accessible in management reports, so management can make faster decisions regarding product change, regarding new product, R&D to come up with new products, so you always have products that people want. Artificial intelligence can make that much easier. Can you see this, Maribel? Collaborative data platforms. Through artificial intelligence, you can gather manufacturing data and match it against buying patterns. You can have enhanced visibility and control over all parts of your factory by being able to see production rates in certain machines, performance levels. You're able to measure it against sales, and you have much more operational transparency by having an AI dashboard which reports all these results. Can AI drive innovation and resilience? Yes, it can. AI can facilitate this by optimizing reporting mechanisms, by optimizing data, and allowing you to make more competitive and agile decisions more efficiently, and be able to actually alter your manufacturing process to meet demand or overcome quality shortfalls. Okay, let's look at AI. As you can see here, Maribel, there's a data type and there's a utility in manufacturing as an example. Data type, machine telemetry. What does that mean? Machine performance. Monitoring equipment health to know whether the machine's overheating, short circuit in power, or a part of the machine is malfunctioning. Production yield, assessing production manufacturing efficiency to see whether you're able to produce the right number of bread loaves from the number of kilos of flour that you put into the mixer. Quality control metrics, monitoring product standards as they come off the assembly line and through quality control, and supply chain data by being able to monitor the inventory you have in your warehouse, how many orders you have, and not overproducing, and also not underproducing so that you can ship to your customers on time. These are just examples of how AI, through an AI dashboard, can provide a business digital transformation to make you more efficient. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, AI as the brain behind smarter factories is now a thing of today. Factories without AI are going to eventually disappear. Robotics, artificial intelligence are becoming a necessity in factories today. Cost of labor is going up. Working conditions is no longer as used to be. And because of that, it's cheaper to have machines take over certain processes. They're more efficient. They don't break down. They don't go sick. They don't call in sick like Maribel once a month. Oh, I can't come to work today. I have my monthly so-and-so that ladies suffer. All right. Just an example, Maribel. Forgive me for using your name. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So your secretary, once a month, she's sick or she doesn't come to work. And you don't have that with a robot. The robot comes to work every day. Does everybody understand this, guys? It's a thing of the 21st century. Okay. All right. How AI contributes to digital transformation. As I said, production optimization, you streamline workflows, quality control, enhances precision, and detects anomalies or abnormalities so you can fix them. It actually predicts failures and gives you a scheduled maintenance or planned maintenance schedule for the factory to implement. And it can also give you a data dashboard to supply chain management to make sure you can able to read demand forecasts and better control production speed or the volume of production. Okay, I'll let you read the rest of it. It's very straightforward. It talks about machine learning, advanced robotics, and AI enhanced computing. Now, let me tell you, machine learning is something that is very expensive if you want to set up because it's based on advanced algorithms and complex production data and bottlenecks optimization. Usually, if you want to go into this, you have to have a lot of money to invest in. And it's not something that a small business would usually do. This is if you want to become a medium to large multinational player. Okay. Advanced robotics, again, costs money depending on the size of your business. But AI enhanced computers, where you can actually buy software with basic artificial intelligence that you can use in customer service or some of your paperwork, is quite affordable. And you can buy it with some very reasonably priced computer packages. All right, guys, everybody understand that? Yes or no? Come on, why am I getting dirty looks from everyone today? No one wants to talk to me today. What's wrong with you all? Come on, guys. Why is no one wanting to talk to me today? What's wrong with you all? Smile at me, guys. Come on. Did you find today's lesson informative? Did you learn? Yes or no? Janet, did you learn from today's lesson? I can't hear you, Janet. Open your microphone, young lady. Open your microphone. Medina, Miss Janet would like to talk to us. She's one of our regular students. Go ahead, Janet. Unmute your microphone. Hi, Janet. How are you today? I can't hear you. Janet, I suggest you go out and invest $10 in a microphone tonight. All right, young lady? Next time you go to a shopping mall, buy a microphone. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you, gorgeous. I can't hear you. No volume. Okay, let's try someone else. It's okay. You fix your microphone. All right, Mary Lynn. Hi, Mary Lynn. Say hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon,
See,
everyone.
Mary Lynn, your microphone's working. Janet, get a working microphone, please. Okay. Mary Lynn, have you learned anything today?
Yeah, I learned so much today. Every time we do the video, I learn so much, and I can apply in the future.
All right. Okay. Did you hear that, my co-host, Miss Medina? Every time I do the Biz Talk, she learns so much. Thank you. That is a
Yeah,
compliment. Thank you, Marilyn.
thank you so much.
Marilyn, the difference
I
between
appreciate it.
me and other companies is we are focused on teaching. Our trainers believe in empowering you with skills, not just giving you material. That's what
Yeah,
makes us caring. That's why I come here 3 Saturdays every month to deliver Biz Talk. Do you know
thank you for
why?
sharing your knowledge and expertise
Thank you
to us.
very much. You're right. The focus behind us doing this talk is to instill knowledge and make you guys more successful. We're trying
Okay.
to empower your brains with more knowledge. Do you understand that, guys? Yes or
Yeah,
no? Mary Len, where are you? Are you in the Philippines or where?
I am in Singapore right now.
Right, you're in Singapore right now. And where are you from? From the Philippines?
I'm from Philippines. Yeah,
Right. And do you eat adobo in Singapore?
yeah. I did cook with my employer adobo. Then they also like it adobo after.
So you're really nice, Mary Lynn. You cook
Yeah,
adobo and you never think of Mr. Wally, right? Mr. Wally, you never think of, right? Hopefully one day I'll meet you and you can share me some of your adobo, all right?
yeah. I do that.
Good
Just
luck to you, mate.
I'm not so
Okay,
sure that we got
Mary,
time
I'm
to
happy that
do
you're
this.
enjoying my classes. I look forward
Yeah,
to seeing you at future classes. Remember, we have leadership coming up in a few weeks, and we have Monday Motivation Madness, Mary. And I haven't seen you at Monday Motivation Madness. I want to see you there this Monday. All right? Okay.
okay.
Good on you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mary. Medina,
Thank
you
you
want to
so much.
say thank you to Mary Lynn? She gave us a compliment. Thank you, Mary Lynn. Okay. Does anybody else want to talk to Wally? Come on, does one of the guys want to talk to Wally? Miss Medina's saying to me, where are the guys? Who wants to talk to Wally? Come on, men. Somebody talk to me. Why are the girls already outdoing us? Come on, guys. Girls, you see, you always outdo the boys. Why? Okay, who have I found here? Jonathan. My dear Mr. Jonathan Batara, how are you today? Open your microphone, Jonathan. How are you, mate?
Yes. Hello.
Have you enjoyed today's lecture, Jonathan? Have you found it useful, sir? Yes or no?
Sorry, sir.
Have you
Yes, sir.
enjoyed
Yes, sir.
today's lesson? Have you learnt anything?
Over time to time, always enjoy the
Thank
class.
you, Jonathan. Thank you so much. It's good to have you at BizTalk. I look forward to seeing you again really soon, mate. Thank you, Jonathan. Enjoy your day. Okay, does anybody else want to talk to me? I found another very, very serious student, Medina. His name is Aldwin. Mr. Aldwin Vardola. Hi, Aldwin. Where are you from? Say hello, Aldwin. Hello, Aldwin.
Oh, yes, Sir Wally. Hello, good evening.
How are you,
Hello.
mate?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Have you enjoyed today's lecture, Aldwin? Is it too hard or have you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it, sir. I enjoyed it, sir.
Have you
Very well.
learned anything that's going to help you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate your imparting knowledge to us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Medina, Aldwin is another happy customer, Medina. You want to wave to Aldwin, Medina? Okay, can everybody wave to Miss Medina? Okay, Miss Medina just shared the Google link to today's material. Medina, can you share it in the other system, please? Okay, all right, so please download the link to today's lesson material, all of you. Guys, let me tell you the rule about BizTalk. Thank you so much, Lizelle. Medina Lizelle said, thank you, Miss Medina. Okay, you're welcome, Lizelle. Okay, Ruel, did you download the material, Mr. Ruel? Tell me, Mr. Ruel, have you learnt anything today? Open your microphone. I love your yellow t-shirt. Open your microphone, mate. Hi, Ruel. How are you? Have you learnt anything today, Ruel? Have you learnt anything today? All right. Did you find it useful? Thank you, Ruel. I look forward to seeing you at the next BizTalk. I look forward to seeing you on Monday in Monday Motivation Madness at 8 o'clock. All right, Ruel? Good on you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, for all of you, and I tell this to my colleague, Miss Medina, and my team every day, Monday through Saturday, guys, believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, you empower yourself to become more successful. I want everybody here to repeat after me. Now, Lizelle is very good at this. She does it every week. So does Maribel. So does Fidausi. Fidausi, how are you today, Fidausi? Wave to me, Miss Fidausi. All right. Are you there? Wave to me. Thank you, gorgeous. Okay. Have you enjoyed today's lesson, Fidausi? Yes? Good on you. Okay. What about you, Jahansi? Have you enjoyed today's lesson? JC Victorino. Nice to see you, JC. All right. What about you, Jenilyn? Have you enjoyed today's lesson, Jenilyn? And I've got a student here becoming jealous. Eugenia, Miss Eugenia Gio. Eugenia, have you enjoyed today's lesson? Good on you. Okay, so let's all do this together on the count of 3, Marisol. Miss Marisol Guzman, you're looking beautiful today. I love your smile. Keep learning, young lady. Okay, here we go, everybody, on the count of 3. I believe in myself. All together. I believe in myself. Come on, why are all the girls moving their lips and the boys are not? Mr. Aldwin, I want to see your lips move. Mr. Dario, your lips have to move. Mr. Luvin, your lips have to move. All together again on the count of 3. I believe in myself. Everyone? Very good. Excellent. Marisol, one day you can come and sit up here with me as a lecturer and I'll get you to do this. All right, gorgeous. Thank you so much. All right, everybody say, I can. I will be successful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with my words. Learning is your train to the future. For the love of God, don't expect your government to give you charity. Don't wait for mummy and daddy to die and leave you an inheritance. Don't expect somebody to support you. If you want to be successful, you have to dig your own hole. you have to make that hole rich and full of gold. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Can I give you an example? I'm going to give you all an example. Listen carefully. My daughter is 9 years old. I keep sharing this story with my colleague, Miss Medina. My daughter says to me, Daddy, why do you work so hard? I said, why are you asking this question? She said, Daddy, Grandma in Australia told me that one day when you inherit the company she has, you'll be very rich. Why are you working so hard? Can anybody tell me what should I answer her? Put up your hand. Does anybody know the answer? Come on, who's got the answer for me? Okay, Medico, what's the answer, Medico? Medina, listen, one day your son might ask you the same question. What's the answer, Medico? Go ahead, Medico. What should I answer my daughter?
He said that he loves you so much.
You love her so
He
much.
loves you.
I love you so much. Okay. Yeah, I say that to her every night for her to go to bed. But what am I going to tell her about the notion that he shouldn't work so hard because one day he'll become rich? Anybody want to suggest an answer? Yes, Mary Lynn, what would you suggest the answer? Thank you, Medico. Good answer, but not deep enough. Yes, go ahead, Mary Lynn.
Hello. I will explain to her that we cannot be dependent to anyone. We must strive hard for our success. We must work for
Very
to
good.
be more successful, and yeah, don't depend to anyone.
Very good.
Strive it and reach your goal with your own.
Very good. Excellent. Medina, do you agree with that, ma'am? Okay, there you go. We both agree with you. Thank you, Mary Lynn. And let me explain that. I kept telling my daughter that, Daddy, when Grandma dies, and hopefully not soon, hopefully she's going to be around till she's 100 or 120. Okay, she's my mum. I love her. Okay, but whatever I get after that is an asset. But right now, I have to keep working hard, because if I don't work hard, then who's going to pay for my mother's medical treatment? And how am I going to go and visit her every 6 months, right? Okay, how am I going to buy you Barbie dolls, Daddy, if I don't work hard? And you know what she says? Oh, Daddy, you know what? If it means buying me another Barbie doll next month, then you should go back to work, Daddy. I won't interrupt you. All right. So what Mary Ellen said is right. So what I'm telling you is, don't wait for people to make you successful, Nang Sui. Go out and kick down the doors, kick down the barriers. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're poor. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're not smart enough. Because if you allow them to tell you, you are choosing to fail. No one chooses to fail. People fail to take action to be successful. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Juliet, do you understand that? You're scratching your nose. It worries me. Okay. All right. Do you understand that, Maricel? And Maricel, that does not mean going out and finding a new boyfriend, young lady. It means working harder and making more money. Do you understand that, Mr. Guzman? I'm only saying that as a joke. I didn't mean anything wrong. All right, young lady? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Maricel has been my student, I don't know now for how long. But this thing about Maricel de Guzman, every time she joins my class, I see the same smiling face with the same level of intrinsic concentration, which no one believes. Can everybody give Maricel a big hand? Everybody, come on, clap for Maricel. Everybody, clap for her. God bless you, young lady. I hope that one day you're going to be the next Steve Jobs and you'll buy Wally a coffee. Can you promise me that, Maricel? You promise me a coffee? God bless you, ma'am. Okay, guys, from me, Wally Rauda, to all of you, my dear students, thank you for joining BizTalk 141. It's been my absolute pleasure bringing you this lesson from Singapore Live. Today's lesson was focused on taking efficiency to the next level. It was about operational excellence and the characteristics of operational excellence. Operational excellence is not only about cost-effective operation in order to deliver the product at the right price, a price-centric customer, but it's also about total quality management, delivering a quality product consistently. Okay, does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, all right. Remember, I'll give you brands that have failed. Motorola went out of making phones because they couldn't manage quality and customer satisfaction. Nokia failed and had to sell its business and get it back, and then get a factory in China to design and build phones for it because it failed at total quality management. It failed to listen to its customers. If we look at the other hand, Apple was successful because Apple had one of the greatest techno entrepreneurs that ever lived, Steve Jobs. His vision and his understanding or his dream of technology in a smartphone is what you see in the iPhone today. Does everybody see that? Yes or no? Does anybody believe that the iPhone is going to be here forever? It's not. We're lucky if we go beyond the i20. iPhone now is up to i17, and who knows, we might go 20. Some people doubt we'll get to 21. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? Okay, guys, thank you everybody for being here today.